I always say my name softly in my head, like it matters more when no one else is listening. I'm finally happy, I told him that night, my fingers curled into his shirt. He smiled and said, "You deserve this. I'm not going anywhere." I believed him, because he said it like a promise, not a wish. "Do you ever think about the future?" I asked. He laughed. "All the time. You, me, a home. Simple." Simple sounded safe. I leaned into him and whispered, "I've never felt this secure." "That's because I've got you," he said. "I'll always protect you." His words became my shelter. When my friends warned me, I defended him. "You don't know him like I do," I said. "He's different with me." I ignored how his phone always faced down, how his family never invited me in. When I asked about them, he shrugged. "They're complicated. Do they like me?" I asked once. "They will," he said quickly. "Just give them time." Time was something I gave him freely. I gave him my weekends, my savings, my plans. When he talked about work stress, I listened. When he said his past was messy, I said, "Everyone has a past." His ex came up only once. "She's nothing," he said. "Old history." I nodded, even though his jaw tightened. "I trust you," I replied. "You should," he said, kissing my forehead. "I chose you." Chosen. That word wrapped around my heart. I repeated it when doubts crept in. When he canceled dates, he said, "Family stuff." When he disappeared for hours, he said, "Meetings." I told myself love meant patience. One evening, his mother called while we were together. He stepped away to answer. I heard my name, then silence. When he came back, his smile was thinner. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah," he said. "Just noise." I didn't push. I never pushed. I wanted to be easy to love. "I can wait," I said. "I'm not in a rush." He touched my cheek. "That's why you're special." I thought special meant secure. I thought quiet meant peace. I thought being chosen meant I was safe. Lying in bed, I whispered, "We're really doing this, right?" He pulled me closer. "It's you and me," he said. "Forever." Forever sounded solid in the dark. I closed my eyes and let myself dream. I didn't see the distance growing. I didn't hear the warning in his pauses. I only felt loved, and I let that feeling guide me. The next morning, I teased him. "Say it again." "Say what?" he asked. "That you're not leaving." He laughed softly. "You worry too much." "I just like hearing it," I said. "It makes me feel calm." He sighed, then said, "I'm here." "Okay." "Okay," I answered, even though it wasn't the same. At dinner, I talked about my dreams. "Maybe a small business," I said. "Or a place with sunlight." He nodded. "We'll figure it out. Together?" I pressed. "Together," he replied after a beat. I missed that beat. I missed how he avoided details. When I asked, "Should I meet your family soon?" he replied, "Later." "Not now." "Why?" I asked. "It's just not the right time," he said. "Trust me." "I do," I said quickly. He smiled, relieved. "Good." That smile felt like a reward. I learned to chase it. I learned to stay quiet when my chest tightened. I learned to call love what was really fear. I believed him without asking questions. I stared at the test like it might change if I blinked. 2 lines. Clear. Final. My hands started shaking. "This isn't fear," I told myself out loud. "This is just surprise." I laughed once, sharp and nervous. Then I pressed my palm to my stomach and whispered, "Hi." All I could think was him. "He'll smile," I said. "He'll pull me into his arms and say we'll figure it out." I practiced the moment in my head. "I have something to tell you." "No," too casual. "I'm pregnant." Too blunt. I tried again. "We're going to have a baby." That sounded warm. When he came home, I watched his face closely. "You look serious," he said. "I am," I replied. "Can we talk?" "Sure," he said, dropping his keys. "What's going on?" I took a breath. "I went to the doctor today." "Oh," he said. "Are you okay?" "Yes," I said quickly. No. There's something important." He frowned. You're scaring me. I smiled, trying to steady myself. Don't be scared, I said. Just listen. I am listening, he said, but he checked his phone. I'm pregnant, I said. The room went quiet. Too quiet. I waited for his reaction, for shock, for joy, for anything. He didn't smile. He didn't speak. He just stared at the wall like I'd said nothing at all. Say something, I whispered. He swallowed. Are you sure? Yes, I said. I took 2 tests. He sat down slowly. This is the lot. I know, I said. But we can handle it. Together. He rubbed his face. This isn't planned. I know, I said again. But it doesn't have to be bad. He didn't answer. His eyes stayed on the floor. My chest started to hurt. You're happy, right? I asked. He looked up then, and his eyes were distant. I just need time. Time for what? I asked. To process. Yeah, he said. To think. Think about us? I asked softly. He didn't respond. I reached for his hand, but he pulled it back. That movement hurt more than words. Did I do something wrong? I asked. No, he said quickly. It's not you. Then what is it? I asked. He stood up. I didn't expect this. I didn't either, I said. But I'm not scared. He laughed once, bitter. You should be. Why would you say that? I asked. He paced the room. This changes everything. It changes things, I corrected. Not everything. He stopped walking. I can't talk about this right now. My hope started slipping. Please, I said. Just tell me you're with me. He looked at me for a long second. I need space. The word hit me hard. Space. I repeated. From me? Just for now, he said. I don't want to say something I'll regret. I'm already pregnant, I said. We don't get a pause button. He grabbed his jacket. I'll call you. When? I asked. Soon, he said, not meeting my eyes. The door closed behind him. The silence rushed back in. I sat on the floor and pressed my hand to my chest. It's okay, I whispered, though I wasn't sure who I was comforting. My heart kept beating, fast and loud, and for the first time, the future didn't feel safe anymore. I wasn't trying to listen. I swear I wasn't. He left his phone on the table, and it kept buzzing. One message after another. I finally said, Your phone won't stop. He stiffened. Don't touch it. That was new. Why? I asked. I was just telling you. I'll handle it, he said, grabbing it too fast. My stomach tightened. Who is it? Work, he replied. I nodded, but my chest felt heavy. Later that night, he stepped outside to take a call. The door wasn't fully closed. I heard my name first. Then I heard hers. I told you, this isn't simple, he said quietly. Please don't do this right now. I froze. My hands went cold. I moved closer to the door. You're back now, and everything is complicated, he continued. I need time. I pushed the door open. Who are you talking to? He turned, startled. Why are you spying on me? I heard her name, I said. Why is your ex calling you? He looked away. She's going through something. So, you're her support? I asked. It's not like that, he said quickly. Then what is it like? I demanded. Because you asked me for space, and now she's suddenly in your life again. She never really left, he said without thinking. The words sliced through me. What does that mean? He exhaled. My family reached out to her. Your family? I repeated. Why? They trust her, he said. They know her. And they don't know me? I asked. He didn't answer. Silence filled the space between us. Say it, I said. Say what you're not saying. They think she's a better fit, he said quietly. I laughed, shaky. Because she's rich? Because she's polished. She understands our world, he replied. She grew up in it. And I didn't, I said. So, I don't belong. That's not what I said, he argued. That's exactly what you said, I replied. You're choosing comfort over love. Don't make this about love, he snapped. This is about responsibility. Responsibility to who? I asked. Me? Or them? He rubbed his forehead. There's pressure. There's always pressure, I said. But you promised me forever. I promised before things got complicated, he said. I stepped back. I'm pregnant. He flinched. I know. So, where does that leave me? I asked. Where does that leave us? He hesitated. I never said I'd abandon you. But you're not choosing me, I said. You're choosing what's easier. She makes sense, he said softly. On paper. I felt myself shrink. And I don't. You're emotional, he said. This isn't the time. This is exactly the time, I said. I need to know if I matter. He looked at me like he was tired. I didn't plan this life. I didn't plan to be replaceable, I whispered. She's stable, he said. She has resources. And I don't. I finished for him. So, I'm the problem. That's not fair, he said. Neither is this, I replied. You never let her go, did you? He didn't deny it. That was my answer. My throat burned. I thought this baby would bring us closer. He said nothing. I pressed my hand to my stomach. I see it now, I said quietly. I'm not tying you to me. I'm pushing you toward her. He looked relieved when I said it. That hurt the most. I knew it was over when he packed without anger. No shouting. No tears. Just folded shirts and quiet movements. You're really leaving, I said. He didn't stop. This isn't working. Say her name, I said. At least be honest. He sighed. She needs me. And I don't. I asked. I'm carrying your child. He finally looked at me. I never asked for this. Those words hit harder than a slap. So, I'm a mistake? I asked. This situation is, he replied. You knew my life was complicated. You told me you chose me, I said. You promised. I thought I could make it work, he said. I was wrong. Wrong. Like I was a bad decision. What about the baby? I asked. He zipped his bag. I'll send money when I can. When? I asked. I lost my job because I was sick. I have nothing. That's not my fault, he said. I laughed, broken. You were my safety. I can't be that, he said. Not anymore. I followed him to the door. Please, I said. Just stay tonight. He shook his head. I already told her I'm coming. Her. Always her. So that's it? I asked. You walk away and I disappear? You'll figure it out, he said. You're strong. You don't get to say that, I replied. You don't get to leave and call it strength. He paused, hand on the handle. I'm sorry. No, I said. You're relieved. He didn't deny it. The door closed softly behind him. The silence screamed. By morning, his name was gone from the lease. You need to vacate, the landlord said. I'm sorry. I'm pregnant, I said. He looked uncomfortable. I can't help. I called him. I have to leave, I said. I don't even have rent. He sounded distant. I can't fix everything. I'm not asking for everything, I said. Just help. This was never the plan, he replied. So, what am I supposed to do? I asked. Maybe you shouldn't have kept it, he said. I dropped the phone. My body shook. I pressed my hands to my stomach. I'm here, I whispered. I packed my life into 2 bags. People watched and judged. Single mother, someone muttered. I wanted to scream. Instead, I called him one last time. Just admit you're choosing her, I said. Yes, he replied. She fits my life. And I don't, I said. You were temporary, he said quietly. Temporary. I hung up. My chest burned. I sat on the floor of the empty room. I talked to the silence. I trusted you. No answer. I loved you, I said. Still nothing. I held my stomach and whispered. I'm scared. The room didn't care. I don't know how to do this, I said. I don't even have a place to sleep. My phone buzzed. A message from him. I hope you understand someday. I laughed through tears. Understand what? I said aloud. How easy it was for you. I deleted his number. I stood up slowly, dizzy but breathing. It's just us now, I told my baby. I didn't know where I would go. I didn't know how I would eat. I only knew I was still here. I wiped my face and made myself a promise. I won't give up, I whispered. Even alone, even broken, I would survive. I placed both hands over my stomach and closed my eyes. You didn't ask for this, I said. But I'm here, and I'm choosing you. My legs trembled, but I stayed standing. They can take the house, the comfort, even my pride, I whispered. But they won't take my will. I picked up my bags, feeling heavier than they looked. With one last glance at the empty room, I stepped out. We're not done, I said softly. Not yet. My heart hurt, my body ached, but hope stayed, quiet and stubborn inside me. Rock bottom didn't announce itself. It arrived quietly, like hunger that never left. I stood outside a small building holding my bags when an older woman opened the door. You're the pregnant one? She asked. Yes, I said. I can pay weekly. She studied my face. No noise. No excuses. I won't cause trouble, I said quickly. She stepped aside. Rooms small. Bathrooms shared. I don't mind, I said. Thank you. Inside, she pointed. Bed. Chair. Window sticks. It's perfect, I said, even though it wasn't. She crossed her arms. Name's Mrs. Khan. I'm grateful, I replied. Rent's due Friday, she said. Don't be late. I won't, I promised. That night, my stomach growled. I know, I whispered. I'm trying. I sat on the bed and pressed my hands over my belly. We'll eat tomorrow. The next morning, I called my friend. I'm not okay, I said. She didn't hesitate. Where are you? I found a room, I said. It's cheap. Are you safe? She asked. Yes, I said. Just scared. I'm coming, she replied. When she arrived, she hugged me hard. You're still standing, she said. I don't feel strong, I admitted. You are, she said. You left. That matters. I laughed softly. I didn't leave. I was thrown out. You survived, she corrected. She handed me a sandwich. Eat. I cried while chewing. I hate needing help. Need it anyway, she said. This won't last forever. Later, I applied for jobs. I can clean, I told one woman. She frowned. You're pregnant. I can still work, I said. She shook her head. Too much risk. At another place, the man said, cash only. Long hours. I'll do it, I replied. He looked me over. Start tomorrow. That night, my feet ached. It's okay, I whispered. We earned this. Mrs. Khan watched me limp inside. You work too hard, she said. I have to, I replied. She slid a bowl toward me. Soup. I blinked. I can't. Eat, she said. No charge. Thank you, I said, voice shaking. She looked away. I've seen worse. Days blended together. I cleaned, served, folded, smiled. When people stared, I stared back. When someone whispered, poor girl, I kept walking. At night, I talked softly. I won't fail you, I said. I promise. Some mornings fear woke me first. What if I can't? I asked. Then I answered myself. I must. One evening, my phone buzzed. His name flashed. I froze. Don't, I told myself. I answered anyway. What do you want? I heard you're struggling, he said. I'm alive, I replied. I could help, he said. If you apologize. For what? I asked. For making this hard, he said. I laughed, tired and sharp. Don't call again. You'll regret this, he warned. I already lived it, I said, and hung up. My hands shook, but my voice didn't. I pressed my palm to my stomach. Did you hear that? I whispered. I didn't beg. That night, I lay on the narrow bed. Hunger still lingered, fear still breathed nearby, but something else was louder. Resolve. I stared at the ceiling and made a quiet vow. I will never beg him again, I whispered. Not for love. Not for money. Not for mercy. I turned on my side, protecting the life inside me. We're enough, I said. We always were. Breathe, the nurse said. Just like that. I can't, I cried. It hurts too much. You're doing it, she replied. Don't stop now. I gripped the rail. I'm scared, I said. I don't know if I can. You already are, she said calmly. Another wave tore through me. I screamed. I want this to end. It will, she said. Push. I'm trying, I said. I swear I'm trying. You're stronger than you think, she said. I laughed through tears. Everyone keeps saying that. And everyone is right, she answered. When it was over, the room went quiet. Then I heard it. A cry. Small. Alive. Is that? I whispered. Yes, the nurse said. That's your baby. They placed her in my arms. My hands trembled. Hi, I said softly. I'm your mother. She blinked at me, tiny and warm. Something inside me cracked open. I did it, I whispered. We did it. You're safe now, I told her. No one is leaving. A nurse asked, Is the father coming? I shook my head. No. She nodded gently. Then you're all she needs. Later, when the room emptied, I spoke to the silence. I thought he'd be here, I admitted. I imagined it so many times. My baby slept against my chest. I kissed her forehead. But I was wrong. I remembered the plans I made. A family, I said quietly. A shared life. I let out a slow breath. That life isn't coming. My phone stayed silent. I stared at it once, then turned it face down. I'm done waiting, I said. The nurse returned. You did great, she said. I survived, I replied. She smiled. That's more than surviving. That night I talked to my daughter. I'm not a victim, I told her. I was hurt, but I'm not broken. She stirred and I smiled. I won't tell you a sad story about how you were born, I said. I'll tell you how brave we were. Morning light filled the room. I stood slowly, holding her close. We're starting over, I whispered. Mrs. Khan visited later. You're glowing, she said. I'm leaving, I told her. She raised an eyebrow. Where? Anywhere new, I said. Somewhere we aren't ghosts. She nodded. That takes courage. I found it, I said. My friend called. How do you feel? She asked. Tired, I said. And free. Free, she repeated. I stopped waiting for an apology, I replied. I stopped hoping he'd change. That's big, she said. It's necessary, I answered. I packed what little I owned. No photos of him. No reminders. Just clothes, papers, and my baby. This is enough, I told myself. At the bus station, I hesitated. Are we really doing this? I asked her. She slept peacefully. I smiled. I'll take that as a yes. As the city faded behind me, I felt the grief rise one last time. I let it pass. Goodbye, I whispered. Not to him, but to the woman I used to be. I looked down at my daughter. Hello, I said. I'm new too. The road ahead was empty and wide. I didn't know where it would lead. I only knew I was walking toward it on my own feet, carrying my future in my arms, choosing a life that belonged to me. Say your name, the instructor said. Say it like you belong here. I swallowed. I belong here, I said. She smiled. Good. Now say it again. I belong here, I repeated louder. Those words followed me through the years. School was hard. Work was harder. Some nights I came home exhausted and whispered, I can't do this anymore. My daughter would look at me and babble. I'd smile. Okay, I said. One more day. At my first class, a woman beside me asked, Single mom? Yes, I replied. She nodded. Me too. Don't quit. I won't, I said, surprising myself. I failed my first exam. I sat in the hallway and cried. I thought I was smarter than this. A man passing by stopped. You didn't fail, he said. You learned. I don't have time to learn slowly, I replied. You don't have time to quit either, he said. I went back inside. At work, my manager said, "You're late again." "My childcare," I started. "Excuses don't build businesses," she said. "I'll do better," I replied. And I did. I learned numbers. I learned contracts. I learned how to speak without shrinking. When someone interrupted me, I said, "I wasn't finished." People noticed. "You've changed," a colleague said. "I had to," I answered. A mentor once asked, "Why do you work so hard?" "I don't want to be afraid anymore," I said. He nodded. Fear is expensive. So was hate. For a long time, I carried it. One night, I said his name out loud and waited for the pain. It didn't come. "I don't hate you," I whispered. "I just don't need you." That felt like freedom. My business started small. A desk. A phone. Long hours. A partner asked, "Can you handle this responsibility?" "I've handled worse," I replied. We lost money once. I stared at the numbers. I messed up. My partner said, "Then we fix it." "No one's leaving?" I asked. He shook his head. "We rebuild." That word again. At home, my daughter asked, "Mama, are you happy?" I paused. "Yes," I said slowly. "I am." She smiled. Good. Years passed quietly. No calls from him. No apologies. Just silence. I filled it with growth. With effort. With earned pride. At a meeting, a client said, "Your company is impressive." "Thank you," I said, steady. Another whispered, "She's self-made." I heard it and didn't flinch. One evening, I stood by the window of my new place. It was large. Bright. Mine. I remembered the room with the shared bathroom. The hunger. The fear. "I did this," I said aloud. My phone rang. An old friend said, "Do you ever think about him?" "No," I replied. "Not anymore." "Not even a little," she pressed. "Only as proof," I said, "that I survived." I looked at my reflection. Calm. Older. Stronger. "I'm not angry," I told myself. "I'm done." That night, I tucked my daughter into bed. "You're safe," I said. She yawned. "You too, Mama." I turned off the light and stood in the quiet. Financially stable. Emotionally whole. Not perfect, but solid. I thought of the woman I used to be and whispered, "We made it." I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure from him. I had something better. A life built with my own hands. A peace no one could take. I stood there, breathing deeply, realizing I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and it felt real that I walked through the halls of the mansion, my fingers brushing the polished banister. "We did it," I whispered to my daughter, who bounced behind me. "We really did it." She laughed. "It's huge, Mama." "I know," I said, smiling. "But it's ours." In the kitchen, I poured juice. "Eat slowly," I told her. "Don't spill." "I won't," she said, trying to sound serious. I laughed. "You sound exactly like me when I was little." Later, I stood on the balcony, looking at the city below. The wind tugged at my hair. I took a deep breath. "I built this," I said. "Every brick, every penny, every late night." A voice in my head whispered, "Remember where you started." "I do," I said aloud. Every moment, my phone buzzed with a reminder. Investor meeting, 2 p.m. I groaned. "Always work, huh?" "You like it," my daughter said, climbing onto my lap. "You're happy." "I am," I said. Happier than I thought possible. I remembered the nights I cried, the rooms I couldn't afford, the meals skipped. "We survived it all," I whispered. "And more." At lunch, a friend called. "You really made it," she said. "I did," I said. "Not perfect, but mine." She laughed. "Careful, don't let it go to your head." "I won't," I replied. "I just feel content. Quiet pride, that's all." My daughter tugged my hand. "Mama, play?" "I will," I said, setting my phone down. "After this, I promise." I walked with her to the garden. Flowers bloomed under the sun. See, I said, all this beauty we get to enjoy. All of it ours.
She spun around.
It's magical. It is, I said softly. And it's the kind of magic you make with your own hands. I sat on the swing, holding her close. No one can take this from us, I whispered. Not the past, not anyone who tried to break us. The gate clicked in the distance. My stomach tightened. I froze. Did you hear that? I asked her. What? She said. I pointed toward the driveway. Someone's at the gate. She ran ahead. Hi. Visitors. I stayed back, my chest tightening. Something about that sound made my hands cold. I stepped closer to the window. The shadow at the gate was familiar. Too familiar. My heart skipped. No, I whispered. Not now. Not here. I pressed my hand to my chest. I left all of that behind, I muttered. All of it. Every broken promise. Every cruel word. The knock came again, louder this time. My pulse raced. I don't want this, I said to the air. I don't need it. My daughter tugged at my skirt. Who is it, Mama? I bent down, brushing her hair from her face. No one matters, I said firmly. Not anymore. I took a deep breath and stepped toward the door. Pride and fear battled inside me, but I knew one thing for certain. I would face whoever it was standing on my own feet, in the life I built, protecting the life I loved most. And I would not falter. The gate clicked, and I looked up. There he was. Older. Hair streaked with gray. Eyes hollow. My chest stayed steady. You came, I said calmly. I had to, he stammered. Please, can we talk? I studied him. Outside the gate. That's all. He nodded and stepped closer. I've made mistakes, he said, voice breaking. I know I hurt you, us. I remember. I said simply. What do you want me to do? I want to apologize, he said, his hands shaking. I was blind. I let her take everything from me. From you. You let her take you, I said. Not me. He flinched. I didn't know. I thought I was making the right choice. I was selfish. Stupid. You were, I said. But that's the past. I've lost everything, he admitted. My marriage, my career, even my family. I nodded. It sounds like a hard lesson. He swallowed. I should have fought for you. For us. I didn't. And now, he trailed off, tears forming. I regret it every single day. Regret doesn't fix anything, I said. You learned the hard way. I know, he whispered. I can't stop thinking about you. About what I threw away. About her, she's gone, and I have nothing. Nothing but memories of the life I ruined. I don't need to hear this, I said. You need to face the consequences of your choices. I know, he said, shoulders slumping. Please listen. I have to say it out loud. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I watched him calm. No fire, no tears. Just quiet. I hear you. That's not enough, he said. I need you to forgive me. I need a second chance. I can change. I can be different. I shook my head slowly. I'm not the person you hurt back then. And I'm not that same woman waiting for you. He sank onto the curb. I'm broken, he said. I deserve it. But I can't live without trying. Please give me another chance. I leaned against the gate, arms crossed. Do you see me? Really see me? He looked up. I see you. All you've done. What you've become. I see the strength I ignored. Then listen carefully, I said. I'm standing here in a mansion I built with my own hands. I raised a child alone. I survived hunger, fear, and lies. And I am happy. I am calm. I am free. He flinched. You're amazing. I'm not amazing, I said. I'm me. And you're what you were. Broken, desperate, asking for something I don't have to give. I love you, he whispered. I always have. You confuse love with possession, I interrupted. I am not yours. And I never will be again. He pressed his face to his hands, shaking. I was wrong. Everything I did was wrong. I know, I said. And I don't hate you. But I also don't need you. Your apologies, your tears, your pleas, they change nothing for me. He looked up, eyes red. Please, I can fix this. Let me try. I have already fixed myself, I said, voice steady. You lost your chance. Not because I'm cruel, but because I chose me. And I always will. He swallowed hard, nodding, defeated. I understand, he whispered. I stepped back. Goodbye, I said and walked inside. The gate closed softly behind him. I didn't look back. My heart stayed calm, distant and unshaken. The past was there, but it no longer had power over me. I was standing in my life, whole and untouchable. He stood on the driveway, hesitating. I didn't know if I should come, he said. I needed you to hear me, I said. Not plead, not beg. Just hear. He swallowed. I can't imagine what you went through. You never had to, I said quietly. I was alone. Nights I couldn't sleep because my stomach hurt from hunger. Nights I cried because I didn't know where we would sleep. And I was carrying you in my body, but you weren't carrying me in yours.
His face tightened.
Stop, I said softly. Don't make excuses. He nodded, silent. I want you to understand, I said, walking slowly toward him. Do you know what it's like to build a life from nothing while carrying the child of a man who left you without a word? Do you know what it feels like to be betrayed by someone you trusted more than yourself? I regret it, he whispered. Regret? I repeated. It didn't feed me. It didn't warm us. It didn't change anything. He flinched. I wish I could fix it. I would give anything. You could have chosen differently, I said. And you didn't. Every night I imagined you beside me, but you were never there. You never let me choose us. You chose her instead. He shook his head. I was scared. I thought. You thought what? I asked, stepping closer. That leaving me would make life easier? That pretending I didn't matter would protect you? His throat moved. He said nothing. I pressed on. Do you know what I did? I worked, I bled, I cried, I swallowed my pride. I held this baby when I had no strength left, and I built a life from nothing. All without you. And still, you have the nerve to ask for forgiveness, as if that erases years of absence. His eyes glistened. I see it now. I need you to see it, I said. Not so I can forgive you. Not so I can open the door. But so you understand the choice I never had. I had no one but me, and I raised a child alone while you lived your comfortable life with someone else. He whispered, I was wrong. Yes, I said. You were. And saying it now doesn't undo it. He looked crushed. I deserve nothing. You deserve to know that I am whole, I said calmly. I am successful. I am loved. I am safe. And I did it without you. Your absence forced me to choose life over despair every single day. He looked at me like I had become someone he couldn't reach. I will not beg for you, I said softly. I will not wait for apologies that will never come. I will not let the past control my present. He lowered his eyes, swallowing hard. I understand. I nodded. Good. Now you do. I stepped back. My hands relaxed. My chest felt steady. I choose me, I said. And I choose her, I whispered to the baby nestled in my arms.
He didn't speak.
I didn't look back. The decision was mine. Always mine. And finally, I felt the freedom that came with it. He stood on the driveway, hesitating. I didn't know if I should come, he said. I needed you to hear me, I said. Not plead, not beg. Just hear. He swallowed. I can't imagine what you went through. You never had to, I said quietly. I was alone. Nights I couldn't sleep because my stomach hurt from hunger. Nights I cried because I didn't know where we would sleep. And I was carrying you in my body, but you weren't carrying me in yours. His face tightened. Stop, I said softly. Don't make excuses. He nodded, silent. I want you to understand, I said, walking slowly toward him. Do you know what it's like to build a life from nothing while carrying the child of a man who left you without a word? Do you know what it feels like to be betrayed by someone you trusted more than yourself? I regret it, he whispered. Regret, I repeated. It didn't feed me. It didn't warm us. It didn't change anything. He flinched. I wish I could fix it. I would give anything. You could have chosen differently, I said. And you didn't. Every night I imagined you beside me, but you were never there. You never let me choose us. You chose her instead. He shook his head. I was scared. I thought. You thought what? I asked, stepping closer. That leaving me would make life easier? That pretending I didn't matter would protect you? His throat moved. He said nothing. I pressed on. Do you know what I did? I worked, I bled, I cried, I swallowed my pride. I held this baby when I had no strength left, and I built a life from nothing. All without you. And still, you have the nerve to ask for forgiveness, as if that erases years of absence. His eyes glistened. I see it now. I need you to see it, I said. Not so I can forgive you. Not so I can open the door. But so you understand the choice I never had. I had no one but me, and I raised a child alone while you lived your comfortable life with someone else. He whispered, I was wrong. Yes, I said. You were. And saying it now doesn't undo it. He looked crushed. I deserve nothing. You deserve to know that I am whole, I said calmly. I am successful. I am loved. I am safe. And I did it without you. Your absence forced me to choose life over despair every single day. He looked at me like I had become someone he couldn't reach. I will not beg for you, I said softly. I will not wait for apologies that will never come. I will not let the past control my present. He lowered his eyes, swallowing hard. I understand. I nodded. Good. Now you do. I stepped back. My hands relaxed. My chest felt steady. I choose me, I said. And I choose her, I whispered to the baby nestled in my arms.
He didn't speak.
I didn't look back. The decision was mine. Always mine. And finally, I felt the freedom that came with it. I sit on the balcony, watching my daughter chase butterflies in the garden. Be careful, I call softly, but she's laughing, spinning free. I smile. This sight, the light in her eyes, is the proof of everything I endured. I can't believe how far we've come. I whisper to no one, yet somehow it feels like speaking to the world. I remember the nights I cried alone, the fear of not having enough to eat, the dread that I might fail her before she even had a chance. I remember begging, hoping, and being abandoned. And now, I have so much more than I ever imagined. Not wealth alone, though the mansion and security are nice, but strength, independence. A life built entirely by me, for her. Sometimes people ask, do you still think about him? I used to. Every day, every missed call, every memory of his betrayal haunted me. Now I only think about what he taught me, how not to give my power away, how to survive, how to choose me first. I watch my daughter fall into the grass, giggling. You see that? I whisper to her. You're strong. You're loved. You're safe. And you'll never have to feel small the way I did. I speak as much to myself as to her. I didn't need revenge to win. I say softly. I needed strength, patience, courage. I needed to rebuild my life one small choice at a time, and I did it. Some nights, I lie awake and recall the shame I carried. The nights I didn't eat to stretch our food. The quiet terror of being abandoned while my body carried life. The sleepless worry for a future I didn't know I could make. I smile now, remembering how far I've come. I chose me, I whisper. And choosing myself wasn't selfish. It was survival. People think victory requires someone else's downfall. Not in my case. I didn't need him to fail for me to rise. I didn't need his apology. I didn't need his tears. I only needed my own resolve. I reach for my daughter's hand as she runs past. Mama, she calls. Catch me. I laugh. I've got you. I scoop her into my arms. Her weight is light, but it reminds me of the burdens I carried alone. I held them and I held her, and I'm stronger now for it. I turn to the garden, the city, the sunlight streaming across my home.
This is ours, I say.
Everything I fought for, everything I refused to break under, it belongs to us. I talk to the reader now, directly. If you've ever felt weak, abandoned, or overlooked, know this. Strength is not given. It's earned. It's built in moments you think you can't survive. And when you finally choose yourself, you realize you've never been weak at all. I watch my daughter, spinning, laughing, radiant. We broke the cycle, I whisper. No longer fear, no longer dependence, no longer silence.
We chose life.
And we chose it boldly. I take a deep breath. My heart is calm, full, and steady. I don't shrink for love anymore. I don't bend to expectations or wait for someone to validate me. I exist fully, completely, without apology. The past is behind me. The future is ours. I tuck my daughter under my arm, walking toward the house. Come on, I say. Let's make the most of today. She giggles. Yes, Mama. I glance back at the garden one last time, at the light, at the life we've created. I chose me, I whisper, and that choice will never leave me. I close the door behind us, the sound echoing quiet and final. Peace fills the walls, the air, the heart. I am whole. I am free. I am the woman who chose herself.